Finland president confirmed what you have always been saying about F-35s. Mark Carney also said something about rules-based world order that I've been speaking about. What has changed this much that the West is now openly berating the USA? Has the world crossed some point of no return? No, see, what's changed is that what used to happen behind the scenes that I had to explain and people would not believe is now happening in the open. So everything I used to say is now everyone can see it happening, right? Now, F-35s. Let's talk about F-35s. What have I been saying about F-35s? I have been saying that if you are a country that has bought an F-35 or a bunch of F-35s and you want to operate the F-35, let's say you wake up in the morning, your pilot wants to go and take the F-35 for a spin in the sky. You're going to have to ask for an OTP for the Americans. You have to send a request for OTP, today's OTP. To get an OTP, you have to first input the entire flight plan. What you plan to do, what flight plan means, what areas or what regions will you fly or fly, what weapons are you planning to use, and so on. You have to give the detailed flight plan, how many hours you planning to fly, how many sorties, and so on. And then it goes to the US and they examine everything. And if they deem that it is acceptable, then they're going to send you an OTP. Once you get the OTP, you input the OTP in the F-35's computer, and then the F-35 starts up. Okay? And then while flying, if you deviate from the flight plan, then the weapon systems shut down. And it becomes just a flying bird. Okay? And let's say you input a flight plan that, I'm plan to take off with my F-35, and I'm going to bomb Pakistan and come back, you will not get an OTP. Denied. That's what I have been saying. I have also been saying that the Americans can remotely disable weapon systems. Okay? Kill switches. They have kill switches. And they will also have backdoors in the F-35 systems. So they will know exactly what you're doing. Probably in real time. That's what I've been saying. And now the president of Finland has confirmed what I have been saying, that they can't even use the F-35s without American permission. Essentially, that's what it means. I have been saying this for years, and there's been a lot of skepticism from various people about what I have been saying. Kya baat karta hai, and so on, right? Well, here we are. The president of Finland has confirmed this. So here we are. Mark Carney also said something about the rules-based world order, that it's a whims-based world order, like I've been saying. I'm not sure if he used the term whims-based world order, but that's exactly what he means. So what Mark Carney said, essentially, Mark Carney is very upset that that the US is pushing the European nations and the NATO nations around like a bully pushes around a bunch of school kids, right? The same way the European nations have been treating the third world until now. So he's essentially upset that the US is treating NATO and EU the way NATO and EU countries used to treat the third world countries. So you have now demoted us to the category of third world nations, and you're treating us like them. That's what he's upset about. Right? Double standards. The first world has always had double standards towards the so-called third world, right? But now those double standards are being applied by the US to the first world nations. And that's what Mark Carney is upset about. How can you treat us the way we treat the non-white nations? How can you do that to us? It hurts our feelings. It hurts our sentiments. That's what he's complaining about, Mark Carney. So essentially what Mark Carney is saying is that there's no rules-based world order. There are double standards, multiple sets of standards. And now the Americans are treating these nations, Canada, EU nations, with the same double standards that they used to in the past treat African and Asian nations. Yeah. So what has changed? What's changed is, first of all, the double standards that were applied to non-EU, non-NATO nations are now being applied by the Americans to even the EU and NATO nations. They are being bullied exactly the same way. That has obviously hurt their precious sentiments and feelings. It hurts. It hurts. Yeah, hurts my feelings. And secondly, Trump is being completely open about American imperialism. American imperialism has always existed. Nothing has changed, but it's now open. It used to be done properly in the past, diplomatically. Everything used to be done diplomatically. Now there is no pretense with Trump. He's not pretending. He's open. about American imperialism. So these are the things that have changed. So it's very clear now that the US is an empire, right? The US is not the benevolent policeman of the world. The US is an empire. It's going to extract its pound of flesh from every nation. And the nations that don't bend the knee, they're going to be essentially squeezed with tariffs and threats and whatnot. So that's what's going on. That's what has changed. The world has not crossed some point of no return. The world is changing. Now the empire's imperialism is open in the public. It's there for everyone to see. Now no one can mistake it for anything else. It's open imperialism. So the world hasn't crossed some point of no return. The world is changing. It's changing rapidly. And obviously, many of these changes are irreversible. Let's say in 4 years or 3 years, Trump, he demits office, somebody else comes to power. Does it mean the US will stop behaving the way it's behaving like right now? No. All the changes Trump will make in the next 3 years, including the past 1 year, what he has done, all of these are permanent changes. So the world is changing, and it's kind of a permanent set of changes that's coming in. So it's not one point of no return, it's just a journey of no return that we are on. And that's what's changing. And it's a very rapid journey. The changes we'll see geopolitically the next 5 years, they're going to exceed essentially the changes that you see in 5 decades. So that's what we are seeing right now.